Welcome to the Choose to Live show with your host, Anika Cohen. It's time to propel, launch, and execute your dream. Now here to motivate, support, and influence you live from Dover, Delaware, Anika Cohen.
Hello and welcome, influencers, to the Choose to Live show with your girl, Anika Cohen. I am super excited to be here with another segment, another show, and another amazing guest. Yes, we have an amazing guest that is here with us today. She is one of our co-contributors to our third edition anthology, Influencers on the Rise, How to Thrive Against Adversity. So yes, we have an amazing show lined up for you today. So I am super excited to be your host, to serve and support you on your journey of becoming as you choose to live, right? You choose to live, you choose to be liberated, improve daily, be vivacious, and enlightened. So I want to welcome you to our show. And if you are new to our show, listen, I want you to choose to live too. I want to invite you into this space to make the declaration to choose to live, because this is where we set aside the ego, we set aside the pride, and we allow ourselves to get the resources, the tips, the knowledge, just the inspiration to make an intentional decision to choose to live. So you are in for a great treat. I want to present to some of you and introduce to some of you our co-contributor of our third edition anthology. She goes by the name of Jasmine Ryans. I'm going to read her bio at this time, and we're going to let her come on in and share her story and her message with us. So Jasmine, she is the CEO and founder of Sultry. Sultry is a faith-based, all-inclusive health and beauty company that sells exclusive, premium quality health and beauty products that are toxin-free, cruelty-free, and plant-based. We specialize in health and beauty products that would fall into a new category known as cosmeceuticals, where we combine the functionalities of cosmetics and pharmaceuticals together using plant-based, toxin-free ingredients only. Sultry has also expanded into wholesale and private label options for companies and partners interested in collaborating and partnering with Sultry. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome to our Choose to Live show none other than Jasmine Ryan. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is such a pleasure and an honor to be able to be on with your community that you have grown so tremendously. And I'm just honored to be able to share and just be here with you all on this Friday.
Yes, thank you for being here. Listen, she is our co-contributor of our third edition anthology, Influencers on the Rise, and we are excited to have Jasmine here. So first things first, Jasmine, share with our listeners, what's your story? What's the background behind Sultry?
So Sultry was actually started 4 years ago. So it became or was recognized by the state of Georgia as an official legal business 3 years ago, but I actually started making the products 4 years ago. And the intent behind the original, I guess, make of it was because my daughter hair was a different texture than mine, and it was always difficult and a financial burden to try to find products that work for me and then purchase separate products that work for her, and then trying to find products that were actually safe enough for her, because I was on this whole healthy kick, this healthy journey, and I wanted to make sure that I wasn't affecting her health long term, because it's something that we are not aware of, but the products that we actually put on our bodies, on our hair, on our skin can actually have long-term effects on our health, and can cause like onset or early puberty in little girls, depending on the chemicals and the composition of those particular hair care, skin care, and personal care products. And unfortunately, women of color have the highest buying power in America, especially when it comes to those particular products in that category. And a lot of the products that are targeted for our particular market have the most toxins in them. So we're mostly exposed to a larger percentage of toxins and chemicals that can cause health effects or health issues in the long run. So I was like, well, that's not going to happen. And even in the word, Hosea 4:6a says, our people perish for lack of knowledge. And I just felt like God doesn't present you with a problem if you don't have the solution in some capacity. So I was able to take my knowledge in science and chemistry and my love and passion for those two and my passion for nature and combine the two and creating products that were not only good for the body, but just to be able to create a brand that was good for the mind, body, and soul, because healing starts within the entire body. You just can't just target one area because that's where dis-ease and imbalance comes from. But when we focus and try to fix and heal the entire body, that's when you can really experience wholeness and wellness for humankind. And that's how Soul Tree was started.
Well, look at there. She took a problem and she became the solution. That's what I heard from that. So, yes, I am super excited to have you, Jasmine. So, let's share with our listeners what inspired you to want to now showcase your story. What made you make that decision to join the anthology?
Well, after going through a lot of different situations in my life, just dealing with different personal experiences and how just seeing other people willing to give God a yes and be able to share their stories and be transparent and authentic about what they've been through and the trials and tribulations that they faced in order to get to that next level in their personal life and business and just overall success in life. And that came with sharing their story, that came with being able to be open about their pain in order to help somebody in their healing process. And I started realizing that I wasn't going to be able to reach my next level until I was able to share what I was going through or what I've been through, because our pain isn't in vain. We go through pain for a purpose. And if we're not in a place to be able to share that, you don't know who is missing out on their healing or who is missing out on that help that they needed because we were too afraid to open our mouths and speak up about what we've been through. And it's just like everybody else's story in the Bible. God was able to use those trials and tribulations to be able to be a testament to everybody else. And at the end of the day, being able to give God the glory out of my life. And that's we see God's strength through our weaknesses. And that's pretty much sharing my story. So I was like, well, while I still have, breath in my lungs and the blood is still running warm in my veins, I'm obligated and I'm charged to share what it is that I've been through, because that's what I'm here for, to be used for the glory of God. So.
Woo, child. Yes, and I completely 100% agree with you. And I know that oftentimes we don't feel it in the moment. We don't even see it sometimes in the moment because of the pain, the hurt, whatever the emotion is that we're going through. But can you share with with our listeners what can they expect from your contribution to the anthology, from your story? What can they expect?
Well, they can expect, I'm focusing more so on the perspective shift or mindset shift, because for a long time, I struggled with really seeing the true purpose behind adversity. And for me, I had this wild assumption that just because I loved the Lord and I was a follower, that I would never go through anything. And he never said I would never go through anything. And being able to see adversity more so as an opportunity and not a obstacle. It was an opportunity for me to not only see God for who he truly was and to be able to give him a chance to reveal more of himself and be more intimate in those moments, but it also showed me more about who I was and who he created me to be. And I feel like if it wasn't for those moments of adversity, especially the moments that I experienced when I started my business, I would have never known who I was and who I was purposed to be if I hadn't gone through those things. And actually starting the business and going through different trials and tribulations it helped me get clearer on my purpose for the brand and for the business and for life itself and why God even created me and put me on this earth. And like I said, if it wasn't for the adversities and the trials that I went through, I would have never discovered that. And he would have never been able to reveal that to me. And just having a different mindset and a different attitude towards adversity will help you when it comes to knowing who you are and being able to reach that next level in life and be able to experience that abundant life and success that we've been promised. So
Yes, yes. And it's mighty funny that you say that because that leads me into my next question. I wanted to ask you, like, you've been sharing with us, how the pain is what led you to the purpose, and it's what led you to lead. I mean, be led of God and be vulnerable with God. But what have you learned so far from your journey? What have you learned from your experience thus far?
I have learned that I am more valuable than I could even imagine in God's eyes. And my life means so much to him, even though sometimes it just feels like, based off of the world standards, that I'm not as successful or as popular as I would want to be, but I'm exactly where God wants me to be, to do what it is that he wants me to do. And realizing that at the end of the day, my life is not my own. And I have to really get that into my mind. Like, I'm on borrowed time in a borrowed body on a borrowed planet.
That part.
Right, like nothing belongs to me. So why am I so uptight or just so depressed and allowing things to stress me out when nothing here belongs to me? I'm literally just being used temporarily to show people in this time that I have here who God really is and what he's able to do when you give him a yes consistently. So
Oh my goodness. Listen, that is a great perspective. There's a lot that I could say, but that was a great perspective. Thanks for sharing that with us, because what I'm taking from everything that you're saying is that your pain has its purpose in your life. The pain has its purpose in your life. And we got to stop neglecting the pain and learn to embrace it, have a different perspective. So I love the fact that you're going to bring an element to the addition of mind shift, because that's where it all starts. We got to be able to acknowledge that that's where it all begins. Change, it all begins in the mindset. The fact that you want to make a decision to do something different is powerful in itself, because we get accustomed to routine, normalizing dysfunction. I can speak from my own experience. So again, thank you, Jasmine, from just coming from that perspective and giving us a different outlook on how we need to embrace the pain, and because it has its purpose in our lives. So we have a trivia game that we do with all of our guests on the show. It's just a few questions. They are harmless to the T. Few questions that we want to know about you, right? Because we want to get to connect with you. So, what is your favorite book? What is your favorite book?
Oh my gosh. My favorite book. Jeez.
It could be as a child too, if you can't think of nothing presently, or
I don't really have a favorite book, but one that has really kind of been really holding my attention outside of the Bible is a book by T.D. Jakes. It's one of his, I guess, first or early writings, but it's called He Motions. And it's actually talking about, it's really a book to help men understand themselves, and again, just shifting their mindset about struggles and what it really means to be a man and what manhood should really look like through the eyes of Christ, and how the women in their lives could actually help them in this process and on this journey of discovering who they are as a man and a man of God. And I thought it was really interesting because even though it was written for men, it's definitely helped me when it comes to really stepping into my purpose and understanding what purpose is and what that looks like, and just really having an understanding of how to really be a Christian and understanding the ebbs and flows of life, and really making sense and seeing the whole picture, including the valleys and the mountains and how it all is able to give God the glory. And it's a really great read, because right now in my life, I'm really just trying to understand everyone, because I feel like a lot of hate and a lot of disagreements and arguments stem from the fact that we just don't really understand and know each other. And when we're not aware of something, or something seems foreign to us, the first thing we do is reject it. So just having a better understanding of the opposite sex and a better understanding of myself has helped me as far as like relationships goes, and what that looks like, and how to build better relationships with people, especially as a kingdom goer or a kingdom grower. So
yes, I like that. Kingdom grower. Okay, I like that. Um, Perspective. Okay, thanks for sharing. Let's see. Our next question. What is your favorite song?
my favorite song. Um, ooh, that's a toughie. Because I love music, so that's really tough.
Okay, favorite artist. Give me your top three favorite artists.
Well, I don't have favorite artists because
Okay, darn.
I ain't even gonna lie. Some people names I won't even be knowing, but the song, it's just when it come on, you just know it. But
Okay.
one song that that's really been touching me is I think it's Leandria Johnson's song. I think it's Deliver Me or something like that.
Oh yes, that's
Yeah.
actually it's Leandra featured in Donald
Right.
Lawrence song.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, it's been hitting different lately. So
Mm,
that's
okay.
pretty much where I am right now. Like, just Lord, deliver me
Yes.
from me, because I keep messing it. I'm not blaming nobody else. This is between me and
Mhm.
you, because I'm messing up my life.
Yes. Listen,
So
that song, it definitely hit different when you are in a space to receive that. Come on
right,
here, somebody. We got to be in a space to receive that. That's about you and nobody else, because a lot of
right,
times it's so easy to point the finger. And I
facts.
know that's a whole nother segment. That's something maybe I should talk about, but definitely we have to learn again to just do self-assessments, do self-reflection, because a lot of times it's us, we're in the way, and
Right,
we can get in the way and stay in the way. But we got to learn to just, look at ourselves in the mirror at some point and be honest about what you played a role, the role you played in your own life, because it's
right,
so easy to point the finger. It's so easy to get consumed with, you made me do it and you did this and you said that. But
right,
we have the power over our lives and So yes. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Okay, I got more questions.
Okay.
Let's see. Prom date. Who
Didn't
was your
go.
prom date? Huh?
I didn't go.
Okay, well, okay. Let me see. That's another one. That's a fun fact. You didn't go. So you didn't
I
go to
did.
prom. We know that. Hmm. Let's see. What's your favorite color?
Ooh, okay. So I I have two favorite colors right now. These are my two favorite adult colors. When I was younger, it used to be red and blue. Then it changed to purple and pink. But as an adult, my favorite colors right now are burgundy and mustard.
That's a good combination. Though all of your colors was combinated. Okay, well, that's not even a word. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. You get what I was trying to
They
say.
complement each other.
Yes. All right. Well, thanks for being a part of our trivia game and letting us know all of the fun facts about Jasmine Ryans. Listen, influencers, this is our Choose to Live show, and our phenomenal guest, Jasmine Ryan, is a co-contributor in our third edition anthology titled Influencers on the Rise, How to Thrive Against Adversity. And she's going to be sharing her story and her message and her strategy. And so we are excited that we are going to be launching this book June of this year. And I'm just excited. Yay! I'm so excited. So, what is some advice right now that you can give that person who experienced exactly what you went through? You know, they're in the space right now, I'm just trying to figure it out, and they can relate to your story. That was once them. What is just some advice or some tips that you would give them right now so they can choose to live?
If there is one thing I could share, is be gentle and be patient with yourself. I know for me personally, I was the biggest and hardest critic on myself. And it got to a point where I could only, I only focused and rehearsed and magnified the negative and the bad things about me. And it took someone coming to me and really pointing out and showing me the good and the strengths that I possessed. So again, really, it was just all about me shifting my mindset and really being intentional about waking up in the morning and thinking about the positive things and the things that I was grateful for and the things that I was good at, and just kept focusing on those things and focusing on how I wanted to see my life and what that looked like and how I could achieve that, with just taking small steps at a time or making small changes here and there to make sure I'm getting the results that I'm looking for. But just really just be patient and show yourself some grace, because at the end of the day, you're not God. You may be made in his image, but you're not him. um, you're imperfect. So imperfect people are going to make mistakes, and you have to be willing to forgive yourself, which was a huge thing for me as well. Like, learn to forgive yourself, because we're all new to this whole life thing. We didn't create ourselves, so of course we can only know what we need at the moment, but we don't know what we need in the future. So that's God's job. So let God be God, and you just be human and continue to be great and continue to obey, because that's all we can do. And he only gives us enough strength, resources, and energy to focus on today. Don't keep beating yourself up about the past and your mistakes, and don't get too anxious about the future. So
Mm. Listen here, Jasmine. I was very calm today. I know my listeners are like, listen, she is not hyped and excited. I am. She is dropping jewels. Do you hear me? Dropping them before we could even start the recording. She was just already preaching. I'm like, listen, we didn't even start yet.
This is what
Okay, she has
I
just been dropping jewels this whole entire experience. So if you didn't hear anything she said, give yourself grace. For real, give yourself grace. We are so hard on ourselves, and we're hard on ourselves every day. Give yourself grace daily. That's what I got from that. Give
right.
yourself grace daily, every day, throughout the day. Give yourself time to release, time to cry, time to yell, whatever it is that you need time to do. Choose to live, influencers. And thank you for being here, Jasmine Ryans. So let our listeners know what you have coming up next and how they can contact you. How can they contact you and get in connection with you?
So it's so much going on, but I'm actually in the process of creating more, I guess, awareness for the private label and wholesale options that I have for my hair care products. And I have some skincare products in the works as well. So that's definitely something that's going to be coming in spring of 2021. I'm excited about that. And just, I guess to give a little sneak peek, it will be a Brazilian themed collection. So if anybody asks, all the names are going to be in Portuguese. So just be on the lookout for that. The hair care collection was actually a French theme. So all the names for the hair care collection are in French. So I'm just really having fun with these new collections and
Yes.
about that one. So if those that are in virtual world want to stay connected, you can check out the website at www.sultrenaturalproducts.com. That's SOULTRE naturalproducts.com. And you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Sultre LLC, SOULTRE LLC. And if you want more information about wholesale, private label, and you want to start your own collection, have your own branding on there, you can email me at privatelabel@sultrenaturalproducts.com or wholesale@sultrenaturalproducts.com. And that is Jasmine Ryans, and those are my thoughts from my clubhouse goers.
Listen, and there you have it. Okay, influencers, there you have it. You heard it all here. Listen, it was a pleasure again to have you, Jasmine, here with us on the Choose to Live show. I'm excited, influencers, for what's to come. Again, connect with her. And let us know what you thought about today's show. We want to hear from you. So listen, let us know, comment below. All right. And choose to live. Go to ladyanikastewart.com and let us know what you thought. Until next time, influencers, choose to live.